and welcome to another video. So we are now just a couple of weeks in front of Christmas. So today I am going to get my Christmas pudding. I know it's a little bit late, we've missed Stir Up Sunday, but I'm going to get my Christmas pudding done and I'm also going to make some Christmas cookies. So if you'd like to, cook along with me. Okay, so we're going to start with our Christmas cookies because these take the longest to sit in the fridge. The fruit for the Christmas pudding is already soaking in some sherry in the fridge, so I'm going to get the batter for the cookie mix done so that can go in the fridge while we make up our Christmas pudding. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually having to measure these, otherwise you end up with far too many and it gets like pandemonium. So we need 150 grams of butter. So the great thing with butter in the UK, it comes with usually some little markers on, there they are. So 25, 50, each one of those is 50 grams each section. So 150 is going to be about half. So I'm going to go about there. Let's see how right it is. Not quite there. Yes, I'm aware that these are very old scales. They were my grandma's. There we go. 150 grams of butter, and I'm just going to soften that. So I'll come back in a second and we'll get everything else out. So while the microwave is doing its thing, we're just going to weigh out our brown sugar. So I like, for these, I like the dark brown sugar. We want 225 grams of this. So this makes your biscuits nice and sticky.
Is it ever going to turn?
It will do. Let's go in slowly. There we go.
Too much now.
There we are.
There we go.
That's our brown sugar.
Sous chef's here now. Is it butter come out microwave?
Right, so we have our sugar and our softened butter. What we're going to do is cream this butter and sugar together. So you want your butter softened enough so that it creams, but you don't want it wet like you would for a cake. So you need this to make like a nice creamy textured mix. This is where there is a lot of mixing with this and rolling and cutting and baking, and it becomes a big mission. So I'll just get all this mixed together, probably mix for a good 5 minutes, you know what, make you watch all that, and then we will get our eggs and other things in. Okay, so we are about there. That's all creamed together. We're going to add our eggs next. So this is eggs and milk, just whisked. And that gets added in. And you get all that mixed in. So this is where mixing takes it slow unless you want to slop it everywhere.
I'll shut the dog out because he's being noisy.
Yes. Okay, so as I was saying, this has been in my family for years, so you will not be filming the cookbook. You will not be knowing the exact mix of spice that goes in these because it's a family thing. Just get all of this mixed together and then we will add our flour, so come back in a minute. Okay, so we have our eggs all blended in. We're just starting to mix in our flour and our spices. So eventually this will make a very, very sticky kind of dough, which is what we're after. But it goes in the fridge to set, so that butter that's in there will start to set, which will help make the dough. So I'll start to add some of our spices.
Is that the famous ginger?
This is ginger.
Not ginger.
That's the one you know. That's my...
Cinnamon.
No, this is my own spice mix.
Vicky's 5 spices.
We're quite possessive over this recipe.
It's a Yorkshire spice mix.
Just going to get all of this mixed in. We've used 2 types of flour. We have half self-raising and half plain, because while we want them to rise and spread, we don't want them overly massive. Like I say, this recipe does make a lot by the time you've re-kneaded it. You can see that's starting to form a dough. Just add another load of spices and the rest of the flour. We like our biscuits nice and flavoured.
Why is it spicy?
Oh, it smells like Christmas. Get the rest of our flour in. So we have our batter mix there. You can see that still looks quite loose, but after some time in the fridge and a good knead, that will start to set. So don't worry if you are making cookies this Christmas. A lot of recipes are like this. If it still looks quite wet, don't worry. So we're going to get that into the fridge and let it chill, and we will crack on with our Christmas pudding. We've melted our butter. It's all soft and melted. We have our soaked fruit, got our lovely cherries, we've got sultanas, raisins, candied peel. That's been soaked in sherry. So what we're going to do now is combine the rest of the pudding mix. So the first thing I'm going to pop in is the butter while it's still nice and warm. But while I'm doing it, I kind of want it round the bowl as well, because this is the bowl we're actually going to cook our pudding in. So this just helps grease your bowl a bit as well. Christmas puddings are a very, very long process, so this will be going on the hob for a good 4 hours today. So let's get our butter in. Start to incorporate that. To that we're going to add 100 grams of dark brown sugar. So again, this should be a wet mix. It doesn't need creaming like you would a sponge, you just mix. Hence it being called Stir Up Sunday, because you just stir everything all together. We're going to add 3 eggs. Two. 3. Just wash my hands. Okay, so I'm just going to get our eggs stirred through. So we're going to add to this some black treacle.
So now it's going to be moist and sticky.
Moist and sticky.
It's like watching Nigella.
I wish.
What you want is to get it nice and wet and sticky.
I just want 2 dessert spoons of black treacle. It's like blooming tar. There we go. Pour that in. Christmas cooking is never tidy and clean. It's always messy. And I'm a messy cook, unfortunately. I'm quite a messy cook. Get that stirred in. So, a long, long time ago, when Christmas puddings were first made and they were the one pudding kind of the year, people used to hide little coins in them, silver coins, to make a wish. And in the late 80s, we used to put 20p's in our Christmas puddings to make a wish. Whoever got the 20p got their wish come true. So everybody stirred, and then the person that got the coin on Christmas Day got their wish. However, in the 90s, people finally realised that it was a terrible choking hazard, and so they don't do it anymore, which is a shame. All the same, once I've got it all mixed through, I will let Jason have a stir and make a wish. we're going to put our spices in now.
I wish for not to get a 20p.
I wish to not choke on a 20p.
Not get lodged.
This smells like Christmas in a bowl. It's beautiful. And the last thing to add is our flour. We want 140 grams of self-raising flour. 120. Oh, tiny bit over there. There we go. Okay. Again, add your flour little by little or you won't be able to stir it in because this mix gets quite thick. So that is all of it. So I'm just going to give this a good mix now. And this is where you can get your family to come and make a wish. I would advise against putting coins in it though.
Come on, Ziggy, get your
Made
paw
my
in.
wish. So let me just turn the camera around.
Ziggy needs to get his paw in and make a wish.
Jason's going to make his wish.
Big wish, give me a second.
It's a big wish.
It's a lot to ask for.
That's the wish made.
Ziggy's turn.
Little Ziggy down here can't make a wish, so we'll make one for
I
him.
think he said one earlier.
So that's our pudding mix made. So what I'm going to do is quickly clear away these ingredients and get everything we need for the next step ready.
Full of wishes.
Full of wishes. Hopefully the bowl's big enough. Please be big enough. A little bit too much mixture. Okay. So you want to fill your pudding bowl to about 1/4 of an inch from the top. And then we're going to cover it with baking parchment, which we put a pleat in so that if the pudding rises, it's got somewhere to go. That will expand. And we've done the same with our foil, which we're going to pop the opposite way. And we're then going to tie this with some string, and it's going to go on a low steam. So it's only going to sit on 2 for about 4 hours. You might need to keep topping your pan up with water. I've got my pan there just with a little plate in the bottom. So that's going to then sit and slowly steam. So we'll get that on, just on 2. The reason I've put a plate in the bottom is so that the bottom doesn't scorch. So I'm going to get this tied up and on. So I'll show you it when it's done. There we are. And that's our pudding in there where it will sit for the next 4 hours. If you need to keep topping up with water, just check down the sides. If your water level starts to drop, just top it up. So our batter has been in the fridge for a good long while, so we're going to get our biscuits made now. So we've got our trays lined and ready. This has gone nice and solid. So I do it in batches because it's a lot to work with otherwise. To make this into a dough. Plenty of flour. So we're just getting this into a dough. Nice and cold. It's a good firm biscuit mix. Still quite sticky, but that's okay. It's kind of what we want. So this literally makes hundreds.
Yes, please. That doesn't mean you get one.
Ziggy also really likes these, so
We make them Ziggy friendly.
we do.
So sous chef gets some.
We don't need them overly thin. We've got a new cutter this year. Snowflake cutter.
He's coming up to do it. He
Coming
wants
up to help.
Yeah, he says he wants to pour his own out.
So these will puff up and spread a little bit. So you need to make sure you leave plenty of space on your tray.
And plenty of space between this nose and that tray.
And plenty of space between the nose and the tray. And they don't take that long, they take about 12 minutes to bake.
You've got to cycle them through.
So I usually have a timer. So what I'll do is get all these shaped up and we'll come back once they're all baked. So that's all you're doing is rolling and cutting and rolling and cutting and baking. 12 minutes and we'll come back and show you the final product.
Oh, smells like Christmas now.
First batch out.
Oh, look at them. They've risen.
They've spread.
They've spread. They're huge.
There we go.
I
It's
mean,
time to get the next
each
ones
one of
in.
them is like Vicky's hand size. There's a Vicky hand, a Vicky palm.
Vicky palm. Get the tray filled back up again then.
Get the tray filled.
Timer back on.
Timer's on. Next one will be 2 minutes and counting.
2 minutes to fill a tray.
Meanwhile, Christmas pods here. Simmering away. Next batch going on the tray. So go.
It is, it's frantic, it's Christmas cookie day.
Christmas baking frantics.
We haven't even started on mince pies yet.
Oh my goodness.
Haven't even started.
I didn't realise it's only a week till Christmas.
I know. So much to do.
There'll be plenty to do while I'm at work.
At least I can do my pastry this week and set and like freeze it. So then my pastry for my mince pies is done. So that'll all help in the long run.
We're back in a second to see the next batch come out. Oh, there you go, alarm's going off.
Alarm's going off.
Alarm's going off.
I just have to wait 2 minutes.
Next batch.
2 seconds. I can't do everything. Unless you want to get them out.
Next batch. Zig, Joe, the sous chef's gonna get burnt. There we go, we're going in. Have you done them in order?
Yeah, middle shelf next.
There we go, let's batch out. Get them. Woo.
Okay, there we go. First batch of Christmas cookies done. Now you can ice these if you want to. I think they're sweet enough and tasty enough without. So that's my first batch of cookies done. Pie or pudding has been in there for a couple of hours now. So you won't see that one till Christmas Day. We might do a taste test of these. In fact, we'll save all the taste tests for Christmas. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one.